The arousal that's created when you move into emergency mode, when you perceive a threat or danger in your environment, when you anticipate the worst case scenario in your life, when you can't control something, you can't predict something. Yeah, we signal the emergency system, the fight or flight nervous system, and that is an arousal. And the arousal is a rush of energy. And the rush of energy is giving the body the resources. It's tapping its resources so it can outrun a predator. It could fight, it could hide, it could survive in some way. Stay alive is the name of the game. What most people don't understand is that arousal then becomes like an addiction, a rush of energy. And people use the problems and conditions in their life to reaffirm their addiction to that emotion. And it's physiological. They need the bad job. They need the bad relationship. They need the drama to give them a rush of energy. And so, in a sense, we become addicted to the life we don't even like. And we can turn on that stress response just by thinking about our problems, which means then we can become addicted to our own thoughts. And the very thoughts that we're thinking is causing the body to move and the brain move out of balance. But the rush of adrenaline, the rush of and the arousal that's created for the body becomes so habituated or addictive that they keep the stress response turned on for an extended period of time. And if you turn on the stress response and you can't turn it off, now you're headed for a disease because the body can't live in emergency mode. It's tapping all of its resources. Okay, so then is there anything wrong with emotionally reacting? No, I emotionally react all the time. The question is, how long? I mean, those chemicals physiologically last from 90 seconds to 2 minutes in the body. So if you're keeping those chemicals going for an extended period of time, then it's called an addiction, because an addiction is something that you think you can't stop. Or an addiction is knowing that something is not good for you and you're doing it anyway. Well, most people don't think that, oh my God, this emotion that I'm feeling, justified or not, is actually harming nobody else but me. In that moment, that person is getting the rush of adrenaline and it's signaling a primitive survival system that they're not going to want to get beyond their fear or their anger or their aggression or their pain in that moment. Because when the signal is switched on, you're concerned about three things. You're concerned about everything in your environment. The senses are heightened. We narrow our focus on the material world. It's all about what's going on out there. The rush of adrenaline causes us to feel our bodies. It gives us energy. And the rush in survival causes us try to predict the future based on the past. So then all of our attention is on our body, our environment, and time. And to change is to be greater than your body, to be greater than your environment, and to be greater than time, which means when we're under stress, it's really hard to change. It doesn't feel good to change. It's not a time to change. It's time to run, fight, and hide. Okay, so tell a person that the emotions that they're feeling that are connected to their past are not serving them and they're addicted to it. And I want you to know, just like any addiction, you're going to go through cravings and you're going to go through withdrawals, and you probably had some bad trips and overdoses. And now the body has been conditioned emotionally, either by thought and feeling, by image and emotion, by stimulus and response. The trauma is just not in the brain now. The trauma, the emotion is stored in the body. The body's literally anchored to the past. And it's saying, I don't want to go to the future because I can't predict it. If I can't predict it, it's the unknown. I want to stay in the familiar territory. All right, tell the person that those emotions don't serve them. They actually downregulate genes and create disease. And that emotions causes them to behave as if they're in their past and believe in their past. And there's another way to do it. And they start realizing, oh my God, okay, game on now. Put them in a meditation and have them become conscious of, I can't, it's too hard, I want to quit, it's taking too long, all of that. And sit there and become conscious of those unconscious thoughts that sneak by your awareness all day long, unchecked or unnoticed. And know thyself. Become so conscious of that unconscious thoughts, and you would never think that way again. And it takes an enormous amount of awareness, Kelly. It takes an enormous amount of energy too, though, because most people give up and say, I can't change. And that's their belief. And that it's not conscious, or it's too hard, or whatever. But what's on the other side of that thought? Someone sits past that. We discovered that's when the brain changes the most. If your body's programmed to get up and do something, or you complain, or you blame, or you make excuses, you feel sorry for yourself and you want to be happy, that's not a happy person. That's an unhappy person. Have a person go, oh my God, I complain all the time. I must be tormenting my body. Okay, I'm not going to be happy. I got to break that habit. And a habit is an unconscious process. And so the only way you're going to get really good at it is becoming conscious and not going unconscious. And how many times do we have to forget until we stop forgetting and start remembering? Okay, so now I know the emotion is addictive. I'm addicted to frustration. I'm addicted to resentment. I'm addicted to impatience, whatever. Have the person sit in the meditation and watch the body get aroused, get worked up, get frustrated. And instead of saying, I can't do this, be curious on what's on the other side of that emotion and teach them how to lower the volume to that emotion and bring the body back into the present moment. And you are training an animal. And if you keep training the animal, if you keep training the body to get into that present moment, and the present moment is the unknown, have it relax into the unknown. When you're executing a will that's greater than the program, when you're executing a mind that's greater than the body mind, that act of intention and will, the act of doing that does take an enormous amount of awareness and an enormous amount of energy. But if you stick with it, we've discovered this thousands of times, sooner or later, the body surrenders to a new mind.